All right, everyone. Hopefully you're having a happy Friday here. Got some major breaking news. It looks like it's about to go down here in the next few hours or so. It looks like, according to On3's Pinecos, Matt Campbell, the Iowa State head coach, them and Penn State are working to finalize a deal to make him the next head coach of Penn State. So he is going to be Penn State's head coach, barring any unforeseen circumstance, which has been a kind of recurring theme here for Penn State. A couple things here I want to talk about. Number one is kind of my reasons as for why it took so long to get here. I think what happened was with Pat Kraft, the athletic director there up there in State College, the weird thing about it is that I feel like he was trying to go after really big names, right? You fire James Franklin, what you were thinking if you're a Penn State fan, if you're a Pat Kraft, is, hey, we fired James Franklin, he was good enough, but we want to go somewhere different. We want to go a bigger name, right? You want to, in the words of Josh Pape, go after unicorns. So you started hearing names like Bob Chesney and like Matt Rule and a few other names. Of course, Kalani Sitake recently. So they were going after some really big names that were basically unicorn hires, right? And maybe even some names that weren't necessarily mentioned publicly that maybe will be disclosed at a later date. At least that's what I'm starting to think. Not to make this higher. Now, yesterday on the show, on our episode yesterday, I mentioned some names I would have hired for this job, or at least the names I would be paying attention to. Matt Campbell's on there. My personal, excuse me, my personal favorite would have been Cliff Kingsbury, the Commanders offensive coordinator, and Glenn Schumann, Georgia's DC. But they went with Matt Campbell, who probably out of all those three names is probably the best college head coaching name you can probably get. I mean, Matt Campbell, what he has done at Penn State, or not Penn State, well, he might be going there, it looks like. What he's done at Iowa State has been pretty significant, if you ask me. I mean, the best stretch run in that program's history. Like before he got there, like the Paul Rhodes era and way before that, kind of in the same realm as like Kansas, Wake Forest, like Colorado at times, sort of in that, really like garbage P4 job. Like that's how bad Iowa State was. Like Iowa State, before he got there, went 2-10 in Paul Rhodes' final year. So obviously he has built a very good program there, very stable program now. From the Iowa State side of things, you've seen a lot of folks over the years since Matt Campbell's been there and they've gotten a lot better. You've seen a lot of folks, even like including this year and years past, not including the 10-win season and 9-win season in 2020, where you've seen a lot of folks get very disappointed in Matt Campbell. You've seen folks look at maybe a 7-win season or a 8-win season or maybe a 5-win season and go, that's like Iowa State football. That's not good enough. That's a sign that you have really good coach in your hands. And that's a sign that your program's gotten better, because technically that should be a good enough. Like 5 wins Iowa State, even in the quote-unquote down years for Matt Campbell, those should be good enough. But he's on the move now. He's probably going to Penn State. I think this is a good hire. Now, is it a definitive upgrade, too? That's another thing I think a lot of folks in State College and around the country are asking. Is this a definitive upgrade over James Franklin? I don't think so. I think it's about the same. But it is interesting, though, that Matt Campbell's has been sitting there at Iowa State. Again, this could have been handled so much easier for Penn State. Like if Pat Kraft really, if he wasn't chasing all these unicorn hires and pie in the sky hires, they could have had Matt Campbell like weeks ago. Like this could have been handled a long time ago. Instead, he wanted to go after these like pie in the sky hires, and it just didn't work out. He missed on all of them. In fact, he actually helped them get extensions, and he was being used as a leverage. So I think this is, in the words of Tom Fornelli, good hire for Penn State. I don't know how it's going to turn out. That's the best way I can describe it. And look, I can credit to Pat Kraft here where credit is due. He fumbled. Now you can also give him, the criticism too. The criticism will give him the first year. They really fumbled the bag on. They really fumbled the bag on this. Okay, there's no doubt they fumbled the bag. They were again chasing after unicorn hires or pie in the sky hires, whatever term you want to use. But you got to give Pat Kraft credit for getting this done, or at least trying to get this done at the last minute. Now, technically, as I'm recording this, it's not official. Like Pinecos and Pete Thamel have been reporting on it. Other spokes around the industry were talking about it. But it's not official yet. And kind of still in lines from Tom Fornelli, it's not official until it's official, right? It's not official until you hear Pete, Nakos, or Thamel talk about saying, hey, it's finalized, a formal announcement's coming soon. So I'm assuming, and this is an assumption, he is going to be hired as the head coach. They're still in the negotiations. It's still being worked out, but I would imagine Matt Campbell is not like, I don't think he's going to back out of the deal. I could be wrong on that. There's been a lot of folks over the past 24 hours or so since Penn State has focused their search on him, saying, "Hey, look, Purdue Chickens TEO's involved, and a few other big time boosters are involved at Iowa State. So there might be sort of a money battle here, kind of like Kalani Sitake kind of like Kalani Sitake and BYU. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I'm assuming this is a done deal. That's going to get done. Good hire for Penn State. I don't know how it's going to work out. Good for them to, and this is another thing too I wanted to mention. I am so glad that they did not try to get Jason Candle, because if you hired Jason Candle, like I said yesterday, that would have been a shitty hire. Okay, like go listen to anyone like Bud Elliott, any other college football folks who are like college football sickos like me. We understand that Jason Candle is a shitty head coach. Given what he has at Toledo, ironically took over for Matt Campbell when he went to Iowa State originally, what Jason Candle had at Toledo and how he's basically fumbled the bag there, not doing much. He is doing worse with a lot more. Okay, like Toledo is sort of like the Alabama of the MAC, right? They're very consistent, good recruiting base. You got a lot of big money donors up there. Like he has done a horrible, shitty job up there. Okay, so I am so glad they did not go after him, because that would have been a horrible hire, a garbage hire. This is a lot different. Okay, you're getting an actual head coach who has proven to build a program, and I am so excited to see what he does up there with all the resources they have up there, all of the recruiting base they have, and the Big Ten money from the networks. I'm very excited to see what Matt Campbell can do up there at State College. Now, problem is for Matt is that it's going to be a big rebuild. Okay, you're losing a lot of the guys from this year's team. Folks are transferring out or going to the NFL. The recruiting class is kind of what it is. It's a recruiting crap class. Okay, it's garbage. So he is gonna have a massive rebuild up his hands. But he did it at Iowa State. He can do it there. So again, it's not official yet. I don't think it's like finalized, but it's getting to a point where within the next hour or so, it's gonna be like what's gonna happen. So unless something falls apart here, if it does fall apart and nothing happens, we'll be back here doing another video. But more likely, this will be done, and Matt Campbell is likely to be Penn State's next head coach. And for Iowa State, what happens there now? Because this job is open now. But much like people say about a lot of these, G5 schools and whatnot, the program is in a lot better spot than it was before. So whoever inherits this job, whomever it's going to be, will have inherited a very good program, a very stable program, a program that is built to kind of compete consistently for bowl games and much more. So be interesting to see who Iowa State hires here. Now, I know there's been a lot of theories going around about, hey, could Iowa State and put up enough money to go get Alex Galesh from Auburn? That's not happening. I would fall off this chair if that happens. If Alex Galesh says, you know what, I'm going to Iowa State. Change my mind. I'm going to Iowa State. That's not happening. I don't think it's going to happen. Names to watch here, I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of names really out there I can think off the top of my head. Frankly, I mean, I don't know, like Vibratrino maybe. I don't know. He's available now, so he's not back at Arkansas as the coach or coordinator, so he's available. So that'll be a name to watch here, I guess, Vibratrino. But anyways, good for Penn State. If this is going to happen, good for them to kind of get themselves out of a crappy situation. You got your head coach. You got someone who's a good man, a good coach, tough-nosed coach who is no nonsense and very good at rebuilding schools like Iowa State. Did a good job there. Again, the best stretch run in their school history. Okay, before he got there, it was bad. So we'll see if it gets finalized. If it doesn't, then this becomes, I don't know where this will go if it doesn't get finalized. And also, too, like, they avoided the Tennessee situation back in 2017, right? I mentioned it on the show yesterday. Like, this could have easily, you could very easily go on the route of Tennessee 2017 or Auburn in 2020. They avoided it, okay? They did not get their journey through it. They got a real coach here, and actually looks like they're hopefully going to stick the landing. If they don't, then this will go into the territory of those searches, but it looks like they avoided it at the moment. So prayer hands, okay? I'm praying that they get this done, and hopefully in the next hour or so it gets officially announced. We have to do another video explaining why things broke down. But it looks like Matt Campbell to Penn State going to get confirmed here pretty soon. Again, P. Nakos is talking about it. P. Thammel's talking about it. All of the industry types talking about it. And by the way, too, like I said on Twitter, I give full credit to Josh Pig getting this hire done. Like, Josh was going scorched earth on the Tuesday show for his show on Tuesday. Like, he was mad at Penn State, and I think that video. I will just say this. I don't know. I'm assuming he'll do a video on this soon. I wonder if he'll bring it up, but I'll bring it up for him. I think that little segment he did on Tuesday of Josh talking about the Penn State search, I think that may have shooken some folks up there at State College. I can't think it did. I think him going, and he's not a Penn State fan, or he didn't go to Penn State. He's not from Pennsylvania. He's from Georgia, but his comments on Tuesday and the way he was pretty adamant about how that search was going, how crappy it was going, and sort of the anger he had. I kind of think that shook some people up there. I think it did. So kudos for him getting this hire basically done, and getting some folks up there to get their shit together. So good for Josh Payton, essentially getting this hire made for them, or at least getting them across the finish line. Or, and I'm all just that, and I guess you want to use extra motivation, yeah. But still, I think that I kind of feel like his comments on Tuesday on his show shook some folks up there. I think it did, and I wonder down the road if Josh will ever reveal that and say, hey, I was kind of responsible for getting this done. So Penn State, Matt Campbell looks like it'll be finalized soon. Waiting on checking Twitter, checking P. Nakos' Twitter real quick here as we're recording this. Nothing yet on the news. It does sound like, again, from what he's been saying on Thursday, folks from Penn State flew out to Iowa to meet with him. So it's not officially done, but I think it's going to be done. I think this will be handled soon, barring any unforeseen dumb situations here. So I think that's probably it here. Again, I'll be checking Twitter throughout the day, but it looks like this will be done. And kudos to Penn State and Pat Kraft, and I guess Josh Pate for getting them extra motivated to get this done. So, again, if anything breaks, we'll be back. And, enjoy the rest of your Friday. And we'll see you guys on the show Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow for the reaction to Conference Championship Week.